we're getting straight into the video, no waiting around. In at number 5, we have Formula from Energylandia. Originally, I planned on building this because it was quite a small layout. I thought, you know, it won't take me very long, and it's a build that I can hopefully, you know, finish and get up on the YouTube quite quickly, maybe within a couple of weeks. Now, I wasn't entirely wrong. I think it took me about 3.5 weeks to fully finish the whole thing and take it outside, film it, and then upload the video. But the whole reason for that was because I challenged myself to try and build this entire layout in my room. And my room is very small. There's not a lot of floor space. So the fact that this fit in my room and worked fully was crazy. If I was to ever build this again or go back in time and change anything, I would have built it at probably like twice the scale, just because it didn't really work out the way I wanted it to. So let me know in the comments if you want me to try another like small compact layout. I probably want to try like a custom one or something. And up next, in at number 4, we have Formula Rossa. Now, a lot of people would probably rank this higher, but for me, I don't feel like that, and I think it's mainly because of how long this build took. This build was actually meant to be quite a simple one. It's not a fairly complicated layout, it's just a figure of 8, a couple of turns, but the fact that these turns spread out wider than my available space in the room just meant that it was so complicated to take sections apart, move it around, and then like fit things back together. And I couldn't even properly test it inside, and I just had to sort of wait until it was outside before I knew that it even worked. But either way, I'm very happy with how this project turned out. Up next at number 3 is Mako from SeaWorld in Orlando. I think it's from this point onwards that I would start ranking all of these as like my all-time favorite builds that I have created. And the main reason is because this was so much easier than Formula Rossa. It may not have as big of a name appeal as Formula Rossa, but there's something about a big hypercoaster built out of K'NEX that I just really love. And it was actually when I took this outside that I realized my K'NEX train system is just too heavy. Like when you use 7 or 8 cars on a massive hypercoaster, if the track isn't like super rock solid, you're just gonna flex the track so much with how much weight is in those trains. I mean, weight does help the trains a lot, but to this extent, maybe not so much. However, this was on the old version 1 train, and my version 2 train is out now, which is a little bit lighter than this one, so thankfully it's not as bad. The ending portion on this ride was definitely my favourite. I got it perfect. The little airtime hill, the twisted bit, and then the entrance into the brakes. There's not much I would have changed. Maybe the first drop and the first turn I would have changed, made them a bit taller and a bit stronger, because funny enough, this build actually didn't work. When I took it outside, dropped the train off the lift hill, it didn't make it around the first turn, and I was so gutted. Now, in at number 2, my second favourite build is Yukon Striker. I think what really makes this my favourite build is not only that everything kind of just went smoothly, I didn't really have any issues during the build. Also, it was the first build that I used my new V2 trains on, so I think that is kind of the reason why I didn't really have any issues with speed and stuff. Secondly, I don't know what it is about the layout and the elements, but it just sort of fit in my room. Like, not fully, because there was a big long section at the back, but each element I could build it in my room without too much trouble. So the build just went smoothly. Also, it was just a really popular build. To this day, this is still my most popular video of the year. Of course, there was other videos that I posted last year that did better this year. The 27-foot King Dakar was December last year, and that obviously got the bulk of its viewership this year, but I didn't build that this year. In terms of just this year, it would be Yukon Striker. It was a build of a roller coaster that is obviously located in Canada, and a Canadian news company reached out to me to do a small little interview and a news article piece. So I guess there's a first for everything. And that, of course, just leaves for number 1, Airy Force 1. Now, the reason why I put this at number 1 is simply just because I feel like it's the build this year that just came together perfectly. It doesn't use the new V2 train system, so the lift hill kind of has a chain that is a bit weird, but overall I feel like there's very little that I wanted to improve with this build. The drop is good, the stall is amazing, the outer bank is incredible, and you know what, I think the final run where it goes over the double up, the sort of inline twist, the turn, like everything is kind of just perfect. There really isn't much that I would change about this build if I was to like go back and do it again. And to be honest, you know, going back and looking back at this footage, it makes me want to build another RMC or some kind of wooden coaster. I love the way the trains look, I love the way the track looks, and I love the way that like RMC elements and just regular wooden coaster elements look. I think I'll definitely have to do another Woody at some point this year, or an RMC. So how about you all go down to the comments and leave some suggestions for some wooden coasters and or also some RMC coasters that I could maybe do for like my final project of this year, or even just like early next year. This video is actually coming out before the end of November, so I also wanted to just quickly mention that I'm actually running a Black Friday sale on my K'NEX Train store. So if you want to pick up one of my V2 K'NEX trains with any of the available top designs as well, you can head over to the link in the description and use code BLACKFRIDAY20 for 20% off. And I also just wanted to say a massive thank you to everybody who watches and supports this channel. Whether you're a channel member or you're just a casual viewer, it honestly means the world to me that this channel has gained over 20,000 subscribers now. And all I'm doing is just building model roller coasters. So if you're excited to see what I build in 2026, then please do subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of my future projects.